Hi, this is Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, welcome to August 2020, a very unique month, as it's been a very unique year for all of us. But it also reminds me that August is a very critical month to your success as a financial advisor. Here's why. Most advisors, the psychology going into August, and I've seen 26 Augusts in my coaching career, is that, oh, August you can't do business, people are on vacation, kids are getting back to school, it's family time, so on and so forth. And there's a lot of truth to that. And again, this year may be a little bit different with what's going on, but I still think a lot of people are going to be looking for that kind of all August vibe. Now, in our game, the advisor world, if your mindset is, well, I'm just going to kind of play office in August, I'll get some things done, maybe some projects, hopefully get away for a little bit, and then right after Labor Day, I'm going to go really hit it, right? Like I'm going to go and go into in some kind of different mode. The problem with that, I have found, is that if you wait till Labor Day to kick off your fall game, you lose the month of September because the Tuesday after Labor Day, I don't care if you come in like a rock star ready to roll. You got to get a hold of people. You got to get them in your calendar, even if we're doing Zoom meetings these days. And you're going to give away a couple of weeks, if not the entire month of September. What you want to do is take August and use it as your September prep. So you want to be reaching out to your clients and getting them in the calendar now, not after Labor Day. You want to be following up with prospects and getting them booked for follow ups after Labor Day. Get them penciled in the calendar, whatever you need to do. Do not come into September and think you're going to create your September game after Labor Day. It's way too late. So you want to use August for really two things. You want to make it what I like to call the second heaviest contact month of the year. The heaviest being January, and that's a whole different episode, which we'll get to down the road. You want to go ahead and just reach out to everybody. I love the idea of shaking the tree. I could say, let's say shake the tree and see what fruit falls out, right? So you contact everybody. You reach out, whatever you want to do, email, text, you want to leave a voicemail, that's fine, whatever floats the boat, but we make it a heavy contact month. The other thing we do is we get a lot of downtime. So the one thing I want to encourage everyone here that's watching or listening, do not go into this month with the concept of, well, I'm going to go in the office and hang out. There's not going to be a lot going on this month, so I'm just, you create a lot of bad habits. Your office is your game, it's your field. And unless you're at 100% and you're going to rock star it out, don't be in the office, even if it's a home office these days. Like, I'd rather you be out on your deck. I'd rather you be with your family. I'd rather you be fishing, golfing, whatever hobbies, gardening, landscaping, whatever. I'd rather you go do that and spend a couple hours a day in the office at a rock star level and then go out and play than to kind of come and meander through the day. That creates a lot of bad habits. And a lot of bad habits are the things that we need to break. So you don't want to go do that. The other thing which I find interesting in my career is that this whole concept of August, like you can't do business in August, and I always laughed about that. Like people say, well, everybody goes on vacation, right? And I go, everybody, like the entire country is going to shut down, like Italy, like they shut it down for 2 or 3 weeks, and everybody goes on holiday. The reality is, even if half of your marketplace went on vacation, which is not even close to being accurate, but 80% of your advisor competitors stopped marketing, stop developing business, the ratios are in the odds are actually in your favor. You want to do things when your competitors don't. And make no mistake, the man or woman down the hall, if you're at a big firm or that you see at the conferences, they're your frenemy. They're a friendly enemy. They're a competitor. Never forget that. So we operate in a little bit of a unique scenario here, right? Where our colleagues are our competitors. They're after the same client we are. They're after the same opportunity we are. So you want to act different, you want to think different, you want to go after things differently, right? So August is going to be about really, like I said, two things: downtime, and if you look at the calendar real quick, there's another little tip. That last week of this month, the 31st, I think it is, the week before basically Labor Day here in the United States. I highly, highly, highly recommend you make that a renewal week, a vacation week, a down week, whatever you want to call it. Why? I want you rested up and ready to play at the highest levels come September. And we also have to remember that this fall season is going to be a very unique fall. We are going to have a presidential election here in the United States. There's already a lot of noise, and the volume is just going to get turned up over these next several weeks. So you need to come into your fall game plan really ready to execute. Don't come into September trying to figure out what you're going to do. You're going to get swamped with noise and distraction and everything else. So don't do that. Make your contacts this month, reach out for your clients, set up your reviews for September. If you get them in August, that's great too. No harm, no foul there. But make sure you have that. And again, make sure you're very well rested. One other thing, and then we'll again, it's summer, right? So we'll keep these episodes a little shorter. I really think it's important that each and every one of us make a decision on how we're going to approach the next several months. And I have no crystal ball. I am basically apolitical. I'm never going to get into that conversation here. But we all know there's going to be noise, and there's already noise. And you have to decide in advance. I've made a decision that here's how I'm going to play the fall, right? And here's what I'm going to ignore, which is pretty much everything, and I'm going to go play my game, right? I'm going to do that. And you have to decide in advance how you're going to approach that. Number one, your clients may get freaked out depending on what the messaging is going to be, right? So you need to be prepared for that. Number two, you need to be at a resourceful state, which means that your mindset needs to be in a certain place. It just does. We just can't, we just can't not have a philosophy when we go into it. It's a strategy. We all need strategies. So make sure we're doing that. I think that's super, super important, especially the closer we get to November. And then I think the last thing for this episode is, gratitude. This has nothing to do with September. I mean, August or, calendars or anything like that. Just an observation. It's really easy to get caught up in the noise and the positioning that life sucks, business sucks, everything sucks right now. And you know what? For a lot of people, that's absolutely true. Let's face facts. Things are not great for a lot of people. However, if you're watching me and you're listening to me, chances are, hopefully 90, 100% chance that you operate in the financial advisor space. Whether it's a wirehouse, independent, RIA, insurance company, really doesn't matter to me, right? But you're in this space. And I can tell you, because I've just got done executing probably about 75 mid-year reviews for my personal clients. And I would say a vast majority, 85, 90% of them, are at or exceeding their goals for the year, economic goals. So what does that say? And that's even with, by the way, the August run, right, for fee-based assets. That's still including that. Now, why is that? I think at the end of the day, the markets have been very resilient, which is great for us, right? Because in March, who knew, right? I think that's good. And I've always said that in our game, we make our own economy. So if you don't want to go into a personal recession, choose not to. Go work. Go get new money. Go get new clients. Go market. Go develop business. Go ask for referrals. Go follow up on prospects. You're in control of all that game. We all need to be grateful. We all need to be grateful that we're not in the restaurant business, the bar business, the travel business, the education business, healthcare, right, where it's dangerous. There's a lot of things that, we could have all chosen to do with our lives, and yet we found ourselves here. I always wake up in a constant state of gratitude that I decided to, by happenstance, for the last 26 and a half years, exclusively coach financial advisors. Imagine if I coached restaurateurs, bar owners, travel agents, doctors. The list goes on, right? Who knows what my business would have looked like? My business continues to thrive as your businesses thrive. Always be grateful for that. Remember, all of us have control over our economic future. All we need to do is go out there and do the work. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching this episode of the Magellan Network Show. So there you have it. If you really enjoyed watching this episode, go ahead and subscribe to the Magellan Network Show with Coach Joe here on YouTube. And remember, I'm always here to help you become a better entrepreneur, business owner, and financial advisor. With that, I'll see you next time on the Magellan Network Show with me, Coach Joe. Take care and goodbye.